Hi guys! This is our first video solving equations using the additive inverse. So if you have a notebook at home, I want you to get out your notebook and a pen and we're going to take notes, just like it would be regular school. I promise you it takes less than 10 minutes. So we're going to talk about solving equations using the additive inverse. Go ahead and put that as your title. Oh, with the additive inverse. Underline that. And the first thing we need to do is talk about what does it mean to solve an equation? Like, what does solve mean? So remember from before, because you've done this, I know we're going back and doing old review. To solve is to isolate. It means you're gonna get your variable alone. So isolate your variable on one side of the equal sign and get everything else on the others. So you'll have like an x equals, or y equals, or b equals, z equals, whatever it is, it's alone, then the equal sign, and then the other expression. Highlight to solve is to isolate because it's the most important part. It is so important in all of algebra that solving is isolating. Because sometimes you solve for a value, like x is 7, and sometimes you solve for an expression, like x is b plus c. So solving is to isolate. Isolate, isolate, isolate. What is the additive inverse? Feels like I'm talking to Dora, or Dora's talking to me. So the additive inverse has two parts. The first part is that values with the same magnitude and opposite signs are additive inverses. The magnitude is the size of a number. Like 8 is bigger than 6, but -8 and +8 have the same magnitude, they just have opposite signs. Also, values that add to 0 are additive inverses. So if they add up to 0, you got it. Let's think of some additive inverse pairs. -2 and, you got it, +2. 1/2 and, exactly, -1/2. 7 and -7. Now, those are the same magnitudes with opposite signs. We're gonna incorporate this second idea that the values add up to 0. You know that -2 plus 2 is 0, and 1/2 plus a -1/2 is 0, and 7 and a -7 add up to 0. So we're going to use this idea to solve really, really simple equations. And I know that you can solve them in your head because you're smart, and of course that's possible, but I need you to do it mathematically like a mathematician would. So you're going to solve x minus 9 equals 15 using your additive inverse property. Are you ready? Remember, to solve is to isolate. So what are you trying to isolate? The x, the 9, the 15, the x. Good. Now, what's bothering x? It's not the 15. The 15 is way over on the other side. It's the -9. It's not 9, it's -9. They always hold the sign in front of them. If it's a variable, it holds the sign. If it's a value, it holds the sign. The additive inverse of -9 is +9. So if we add it to the left side, we have to add it to the right side. So -9 plus 9 is 0. Oh, don't forget the left and right. We're not going to put a 0 though, because zeros aren't helpful. We're going to put what's left on the left side. The only thing over there when we add 9 is going to be x. And 15 plus 9 is 24. Good. So remember, I know you can do this in your head, but I need you to show me the work. I don't care about the right answer. I care that you understand the additive inverse of -9 is +9. So I need to see that +9 on both sides. That's the most important part, not the answer. I want to see the work. Show your work. All right, let's do another one. We're gonna do b plus 12 equals -23. All right, consider, where's your variable? Who are we trying to isolate? Highlight it. We are isolating b. So who is bothering b? +12. It's not negative, it's a +12. They hold the sign in front of them. So what is the additive inverse of +12? Go ahead and write it down on the side. I want you to put these little notes so that later when you're reading it, you know why we wrote it. You're Common Core kids, so you have to know all the language and all the thought behind everything, not just the process like a parrot. We're gonna subtract 12 from the left, which means we have to subtract 12 from the right. Keep everything in balance. 12 minus 12 is 0, so we're just gonna leave our b, and then a -23 and a -12. They're both in the same direction, so you can just add them up, and we get -35. Ta-da! Remember, I wanna see the work. I wanna see the work. I have to see what I've written in pink. I need to see it on your work when you turn in your assignment. So let's do a different kind. -6 equals x plus 11. Looks a little different, a little uncomfortable. Your variable's on the right side instead of the left side. That's okay. We still want to isolate x. So highlight your x if you have a highlighter, and then we look at x. What's bothering x? What is your additive inverse that you need to use? All right, if you came up with 11, you're right. The additive inverse of +11 is -11. So we have to subtract 11 on both sides, and that gives us -17 equals x. I don't like that. I like it when my x is on the left. I like saying x equals. So you can just switch it, because if -17 is x, then x is -17, and that's okay. I'm also a big fan of boxing your answers. So just put a box around it. Not because the answer is the most important part, it is not, but it shows that you're done. You have these nice little paragraphs of work, and then I know that I can look just above and see how you got to the answer you got. Remember, the important part of this is isolating the variable, using your additive inverse to do it, and showing your work. Your assignment is posted in Google Classroom, so you're gonna go to there, and you're gonna take a picture of your assignment and upload it into Google Classroom as a picture, and then I can see it, give you some feedback, and give you some points. That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.